Basically, sometimes some individuals, depending on the judging panel that you're in front of, they would want you to just stand with your toes out. Some other panels will permit you to have a leg extended. So whichever one, you start the pose from the floor. Tension in the entire lower body, bring out the striations, muscularity in the quads, everything, and then you go into that position where your thumbs are forward. You actually flex the arms, lock biceps, lock triceps, bring out the lat a bit, and then sit down lastly while exhaling. So what you're trying to do is to look as large as possible while showing the details at the same time. So, that completes the mandatory stuff. Actual pose.
There's more.
All right.
Touching on everything.
We have a couple of optional poses here. These comes up once again, dependent on where you're competing at. These can actually be added to your mandatories or replace some of the mandatories that you've been taught about a short while ago. Or it is a very good thing for you to learn about this and you can incorporate them into your night routine. So, for your crab most muscular, the idea here is to actually go into a position where you can show total muscularity with emphasis on your trapezius. So, similar concept, maybe a leg extended. Inhale, you bring out your traps as much as you can, you lean forward, and the last thing you want to do is exhale so that unlock into position, and the closer you bring your fists together, the more the traps are enhanced. It's important for you to find the right angle that you will want to lean forward to so as to enhance the appearance as much as possible, and you can get to that by viewing yourself in the mirror over and over and over again.
Ladies, we don't necessarily have to do that. But another option for us is to actually keep your hands together, which is another most muscular pose that I think, depending on your physique, can look much nicer and really enhance it more. And what I'll do is I will just, again, put my leg out, either one, and then I'll inhale, blow out, kind of flare my lats, and then press down. And everything just kind of just tightens up, you bring it down. Keep your hands lower than your abs, pointed down so that everything is showing here.
For the intercostal twist, this can look exceptionally well if you are pretty much on target in terms of your contest prep. And the idea here is actually pivoting slightly to the side. You have one hand extended overhead. You can actually, if you want to, hold the back of your head to add to the tension, and the idea basically is to pretend that you're lifting your hip using the power from your intercostal only. You can actually rest the other hand on your hip to display muscularity in the other arm and exhale at the last moment while actually trying to use this muscle to pull this part of your body and this one together. So there's that compression, you exhale at the last moment, that brings them out. You pivot to the left, pivot to the right.
You utilize that in a lot of your routines. It's one of your favorites, I know.
The overhead victory, I think that came into effect since the era of Sergio Oliva. It looks simple, but it's not a very easy pose to master. In actual fact, it looks excellent if you're having properly developed forearm. And the idea is to actually go into a pose where you're showing the muscularity in your lower body at the same time vacuum, lat spread, and in the last minute you flex or supinate the wrist out so as to bring out the details on your forearm, biceps, triceps, and everything. Here again, the emphasis should not be much on your abs. Create a vacuum and make yourself look larger than you actually are. And you hold your pose there.
Shoulders up or pull them down. Shoulders up or keep them down.
No, very rarely would I suggest for you to bring your shoulder up. When you, in any pose, when you bring your shoulders up, it has tendency to look as though you're choked.
I use that one in my routine. I like that one.
And they can ask for this from a frontal view or from a rear view as well.
Hamstring. Hamstring, again, you could do from the back. You would kind of turn to the side. You would put your weight on one leg. This is how I do it, and I would just kind of lean forward. You just want to make sure that you're flexing.
Well, most of the
It's
time,
hard. That's
females
tough.
have a tendency to
Yeah.
do that. Guys shy away from actually doing the actual flex. So basically what most guys would do is, once you plant the toe on the floor and you anchor it there, it's like, first of all, you use the calf muscle to assimilate, as though you're pulling the toe to unloose that anchor. That develops tension from the calves that's transferred into the hamstring, and the last thing you do is then sit on it. And that makes them pop out.
Yeah, that pose can either be straight to the back, like this, but yeah, again, you see most of the people do the opposite leg, this side like this. And like, so you see the bicep of it. So it depends on how the head judge calls that one, but it could be either way. Then the leg displays to the front, either.
Yeah. This is
Sometimes ask you to do both right and left.
yeah. Sean likes this is his own plan. Sean likes doing this one all night. Yeah, basically, you like Brian said, you can do them both. Sometimes they would like individually, where they actually deliberately tell you left leg forward, and then they say right leg forward, depending on the judging panel that you're in front of.
You could do anything for your upper body. You could do a pose, you could do hands on hips.
Bring out
You want to do
arms,
something.
whatever you want. It's not just a relaxed thing for your upper body, although the emphasis is on your legs. You also are doing something to bring out details in your upper body while in this particular pose. Calf display. Once you're backing panel, they can ask for left, right, or both. Some judges ask you to get up on your toes and stay in that position. Like, right. Some judges actually ask you to go up there and stay. It looks simple, but now you're on stage, you suddenly discover that it's very difficult for you to stay up there. You're constantly off balance. You can't seem to understand why is it you just can't go on tiptoe and stay there.
Practice it. It's not called. I mean, I haven't always had it called, but if they do, just be ready. So practice it. The balance is tough.
Know in advance where you're competing and what are their requirements. That helps, so that gives you an idea as to what you can emphasize your practice on, but outside of that box, practice everything.